Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So the Nikon D5200 has been announced and people are excited about it. People are asking questions about it. I've been getting a lot of viewers leaving comments or sending me emails asking, should I upgrade from my 5100 to the 5200? Should I buy the 5200 over the 3200? And questions like this, which are totally understandable. We got a new camera out by Nikon. It looks really good, and people are excited about it. So I had to look through all the specs, the press release. I wanted to see exactly, basically we know it's a 5100 upgrade, but I wanted to see exactly was the advantages or the upgrades, the points that are better, and to be able to answer these questions. Is it worth it over the 5100, or should I buy it over the 3200? And so I've gone through all the specs on the 5200, and I basically came up with 8 reasons that you would want to buy the 5200 over the 3200. So we'll start with that one. Here's 8 reasons why you would want to buy this over the Nikon D3200, which in and of itself is a nice little camera. So first and foremost, we've got an advantage on video. 2 big advantages, or one advantage and one big advantage. The big advantage is the accessory jack on the 5200 that the 3200 doesn't have. Basically, you can plug in an external mic, external accessories that way, which is a big bonus for those that like to do video. The other advantage is that the D5200 does 1080 60i. Now, this is also kind of a negative in my book, not over the D3200, but just a negative for the D5200, because I think it should have done 60p. But anyways, it does do 60i, 1080 60i, and the 3200 does not. So that's point number 1. The video abilities are better on the 5200. Point number 2, we've got 14-bit compressed NEF versus 12-bit on the D3200. So all else being equal, we've got better information gathering abilities on the 5200. This is a point of contention for some people. They like to argue this, and that you can't see the difference and whatnot. And that, to large degree, is true. I always say to people, I've seen these arguments go on. I've seen people looking at prints, and I've never really seen the difference. But on paper, the 5200 is 14-bit. The 3200 is 12-bit. So that is an advantage to the 5200, and probably certain processing programs for your images and whatnot are going to be able to see a little bit of an advantage there in things like maybe the tonal range of a sky or something. You might see a difference there, but again, advantage 5200. The third one that we have here is the better autofocus system in the 5200 over the 3200, and this is significant because the 5200 has the Cam 4800. That is the 39 sensor 9 crosshatch sensor system, which is significantly better than the 3200's Cam 1000, which is an 11 sensor 1 crosshatch. So you get a lot better autofocus on the D5200. This alone is probably worth the difference in price of the 2 cameras, just that single point right there. The next one, the fourth point, is the 2016 pixel color matrix system. So you're basically, the metering is much better on the 5200 than it is on the 3200. The 3200 has a 420 pixel system versus the 5200's 2016 color pixel system. So 5200 has better metering in that sense. The fifth point is exposure bracketing. We've got exposure bracketing available on the 5200. We don't have that available on the 3200. So we've got 3 frames exposure bracketing, and we've also got white balance bracketing and some HDR bracketing. So that's a bonus on the 5200 that you don't get on the 3200. Number 6 is the ISO, the high ISO specifically. We've got a greater range on the 5200. The 5200 allows us to go from 200 to 6400 with a high 1, a high 2, and auto. The 3200 only has high 1 and auto, so you get one more official, if you want to call it that, high ISO setting on the 5200 over the 3200. And I would suspect Nikon's probably tweaked that, so you are actually getting a little better high ISO with those high-end settings than you are on the 3200. We'll see that when we see some more images coming out of these two, but I suspect the 5200 is therefore a little bit better at high ISO. They've tweaked it just a little bit more than the 3200. Number 7 is the LCD. We've got the same specs as far as 921,000 dot LCD. We've got the same 3-inch LCD, but the LCD obviously on the 5200 is positionable. It's a very angle positionable LCD, similar to what was on the 5100, but you don't get that on the 3200. So that's another big point. That's another big one for me. I would rank that probably just behind the autofocus advances on the 5200. So another big reason you might want to spend a little bit of extra money on the 5200. Number 8 is kind of a minor thing. It's frames per second. We have 5 frames per second on the 5200 versus 4 frames per second on the D3200. Not a lot. We're talking 1 frame per second here, but it is faster on the 5200, and for those of you that like to take advantage of the speed of the frames per second your camera is capable of, obviously the 5200 is the winner here. So those are my 8 reasons, folks, why you might want to buy the D5200 over the 3200. The 2 biggies there being the autofocus and the variable angle LCD. The rest of them are all bonuses and just kind of gravy, but 8 points in all, so hopefully that helps you out if you are looking at buying a 5200 and if you're trying to decide between the 32 or the 52. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Have a couple of nitpicks about the D5200. I'll also, if there's one big thing on the 5200 that I really like over the 5100, I'll let you know what that is. And we'll be back soon with some new videos, some new articles, and we'll keep up to date with what's going on in the world of photography here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks a lot.